good, everyone. Welcome to your weekend. It's Saturday today, and I'm not often doing podcasts on Saturday, but my heart spoke to me that it was good to give one. And it's about Jesus is your healer, the way that we walked for a couple of weeks already, and the power that through his sacrifice was always, as of today, the meaning of Jesus, that you also received healing. This is your Pastor Yadi. The woman with the issue of blood and the Canaanite woman had a very crucial thing in common. And the theme that we're talking about is seize your moment. They took advantage of a heaven-appointed moment. They each kept pursuing their miracle and pushing through all obstacles until they received the healing or deliverance that their hearts desired. So, let's view now on blind Bartimaeus, who desperate to receive his healing and took hold of his moment as Jesus walked by. Now they came to Jericho, as Jesus went out of Jericho with his disciples and a great multitude. Blind Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, sat by the road begging. And when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." Then many warned him to be quiet, but he cried out all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Mark 10:46-48. Bartimaeus had been blind all his life. As he got up that morning and went about his normal routine, putting on his garment that identified him as a blind beggar with the right to beg, Bartimaeus was thinking, "This is going to be my miracle day." But that's exactly what it was going to be. So, let me say this is a recognition of a moment, of an opportunity. There blind Bartimaeus sat in his customary spot, begging as usual. Then came the moment when he heard that Jesus of Nazareth was walking by. He couldn't see what was happening. He was completely dependent on his sense of hearing. Bartimaeus immediately began to cry out. He knew, "This is my opportunity." Then certain people, filled with their own opinions, started telling Bartimaeus to be quiet. "Oh, blind Bartimaeus, hush! I've known you all my life. You're blind, and you're a beggar. That's who you are, and that's who you'll always be." These men and women were pouring out their negative opinions about blind Bartimaeus on his appointment miracle day. They were telling him, "Blind Bartimaeus, you've been blind all your life. Just be quiet. You're bothering Jesus. He's not going to pay any attention to you. Who do you think you are? You've always been that way, and you're going to stay that way." But blind Bartimaeus didn't let those opinions stop him. He just kept crying out. Sometimes those negative opinions come from ourselves. Well, we need to think about this. How we look at our own life in our healing process, and as we look to our friends or our family, how we look at their healing and their issues, and so on and so on. But that wasn't blind Bartimaeus. He wasn't going to listen to the naysayers. Nothing was going to stop him from crying out. We can take courage from this man's example. The people told him to shut up, and he just cried out that loud and louder and louder. And he didn't just cry out once. Over and over, Bartimaeus yelled, "Son of David, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. I don't see you. I don't know where you are, but I know you're closer. You're close, Son of David, have mercy on me." Bartimaeus was taking hold of his moment. He had an attitude that refused to be deterred from pursuing his miracle of healing. That is exactly the kind of attitude that the church needs to adopt. That when the world tells us to shut up, we cry out in faith and even louder. We have to let people see this great God on the inside of us and refuse to let anyone intimidate us or deprive us of our miracle. Verse 49 reveals Jesus' response to Bartimaeus. And we're reading from Mark chapter 10, the verses 46 to 48. So, response from Jesus to Bartimaeus' persistence in pursuing the miracle of healing that he so desired. So Jesus stood still and commanded him to be called. Then they called the blind man, saying to him, "Be of good cheer, rise, he is calling you." That's how fickle people can be with their negative opinions. Far too often we give up our conviction that propels us to pursue our miracle because of the negative opinions of people, and people who are liable to change their opinion in the next moment, the very people who had been so rude to blind Bartimaeus changed their tune as soon as Jesus stopped and beckoned the blind man to come to him. They started saying, "Oh, be of good cheer, rise and come. He's calling you. Just forget the fact that 5 minutes ago I told you to shut up and that you weren't worthy. You can be of good cheer now." This is how people can be at times. So we have to decide what song we're going to sing no matter what. We know that blind Bartimaeus tuned in to only one song that day, the song of faith. And he said, "Jesus is going to have mercy on me and heal me today." Period. And throwing aside his garment, he rose and came to Jesus. Mark 10, verse 50. What was in that garment? Bartimaeus' entirely identity. His lunch ticket, his profession, everything that blind Bartimaeus' life was built on was in that garment. Jesus knew what that garment stood for, and he took note that Bartimaeus walked up to him without it. And throwing aside his garment, he rose and came to Jesus. So Jesus answered and said to him, "What do you want me to do for you?" The blind man said to him, "Rabboni," that I may receive my sight. And I think we missed the boat here. If you go through the whole Gospels, Jesus never set an appointment for any person who came to him. What he did, he was asking a question: what do you want? And sometimes he called him, like he did with Bartimaeus. My dear friends, we need to review our own life in Christ, where we are in this very moment. How do we receive Jesus? How do we believe what he really did on the cross that is broken up? Bartimaeus couldn't see Jesus standing there in front of him, but he could hear his voice. And then Jesus said to him, "Go your way, your faith has made you well." And immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus on the road. Mark 10:52. I believe that at times we have missed some immediate lights because we listen to opinions of others. Someone may have said to us, "You're ridiculous for believing for a miracle in your body." And as a result, we gave up on our miracle because of what someone else said. But that is the reward for staying in faith. We stay positioned for the moment of our miracle. So seize your moment. Don't give up. Believe in the miracles that are still as real and happened as 2,000 years. But I know the world is so smushed with things that make people blind. Come back to Jesus. Come back to your first love and talk to Him. Tell Him where you are and ask Him to start all over in your new journey. Jesus will never give up on you. He will say, "Come, come to me. All you are labored and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." He's not telling you, go away. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to touch you. But it's your choice. May the choice give you healing and a new journey. This is your Pastor Yeti. Have a blessed weekend.